Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're grinding through your network certifications right now, you know for a fact that mastering the command line is absolutely non-negotiable. But let's be real, memorizing a wall of text can be incredibly dry. So today, this explainer is going to transform the Cisco IOS into something you can actually visualize. We aren't just going to look at the router as a boring piece of hardware, but as a high-tech, heavily armored, futuristic vault. We're going to explore this whole keys to the castle concept for Cisco routers. By visualizing the command line as a physical fortress, you are going to lock these concepts into your memory perfectly for exam day.
Okay, let's dive right into this structured study guide. Here's our map through the 4 strict levels of security clearance. We'll start with user Exec Mode, move into privileged Exec Mode, step up to global configuration, dive deep into interface configuration, and finally, we'll cover how to exit and wrap it all up with an exam summary.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it sets the stakes so perfectly. When you log into a Cisco router, you aren't just given the keys to the castle. You have to navigate through 4 strict levels of security clearance. We are literally treating the router like a heavily armored vault for a very specific reason, and that is spatial memory. See, on your certification exam, you're going to be bombarded with all sorts of different command prompts. But if you can visually remember exactly how deep inside the fortress you're standing, you'll instantly know which commands are actually available to you and which ones will just throw an error.
All right, let's step through those heavy vault doors into our very first layer of security. Level 1, User Exec Mode, which we can basically think of as entering the lobby.
Picture this. You step inside a sleek, clean, but highly restricted glass lobby. Maybe there's a holographic display sitting in the center. This is User Exec Mode. On your command line, you're going to know you're standing in this lobby because of the greater than symbol sitting right next to the router's name. When you see router, you are at the absolute baseline starting level of access. So what can you actually do here? Well, just like a real corporate lobby, you can look around. You can check basic statistics, maybe glance at the system clock or verify the router's name, but you cannot actually break or change anything. Those glass walls keep you totally contained. For the exam, just remember, User Exec Mode is purely for basic, non-disruptive viewing.
But hey, you're a network engineer, right? Just looking through the class isn't going to cut it. To gain real power and move deeper into the facility, you have to type an exam-critical transition key. And that word is enable. Simply typing enable and hitting enter is your VIP pass to drop those glass walls.
And the moment you type that, everything changes. Welcome to Level 2, Privileged Exec Mode, or as we like to call it, the Admin Control Room.
Imagine those glass lobby walls dropping down, instantly revealing this massive, glowing blue control room filled with hundreds of live data streams. This is Privileged Mode. It is your admin-level access. And notice how your name tag just updated? That simple greater than sign has transformed into a sharp, glowing hashtag, or pound sign. When you see router hash on your exam, that is a crucial visual anchor. That hashtag signals elevated clearance. It's telling you that you are no longer just a guest sitting in the lobby. You are a full-blown administrator sitting at the main console.
Let's put these two modes side by side real quick because understanding this difference is a massive part of literally any networking exam. Over in the lobby, user mode, you can only look around and check basic stats, right? It's safe, it's restricted. But in our control room, privileged mode, you have some serious operational power. Because you've got that elevated clearance, you can now view the secret running configuration of the router, you can reboot the entire system, you can even save your hard work so it doesn't get wiped if the power goes out. You hold the administrative keys now. Oh, and a quick pro tip for your studies, if you're ever in the control room and want to step back down to the safety of the lobby, you just simply type the command disable.
Now, being an admin is great and all for monitoring and rebooting, but what if you actually need to build or change the network's blueprint? To step up to that next tier of clearance, you need a brand new transition key. From the privileged mode control room, you have to type this exact command, configure terminal.
Entering that command pushes us right up into Level 3 global configuration. We are now stepping up to the architect's desk. Picture this. From that blue control room, you step up to a central, glowing orange holographic drafting table. As you walk up to it, the entire blueprint of the network expands into the air right in front of you. You now have sweeping architectural control. This is global configuration mode. And check out the command prompt. It updates once again to reflect your new clearance. It now reads router config hashtag. Notice the word config squeezed in parentheses right before the hashtag. This mode is exactly what it sounds like. Any changes you make here are going to affect the entire router, globally. So if an exam question asks you where you'd change the router's master host name or where you'd set an overarching security password, the answer is always global configuration mode. You're at the architect's desk, altering the master blueprint.
But wait, what if you don't want to change the whole router? What if you just want to tweak one tiny specific piece of it? Well, from the architect's desk, you'd target a specific component by typing a command like interface G0/0.
And that command drops us directly to level 4 interface configuration. We are zooming in on a specific cable.
Narratively, just imagine looking at that massive orange holographic blueprint, and then the camera zooms in incredibly close onto a single specific glowing green port. The rest of the background just blurs out. Your entire focus is now purely on this one individual cable connection. You are in interface configuration mode. On your screen, the prompt updates to router config-if. That little if simply stands for interface. This level is highly exclusive and completely localized. Your commands here, they don't affect the whole router anymore. They only affect this exact piece of hardware. This is the exact clearance level you need for tasks like turning on one specific port or assigning an IP address to a single physical interface. You have successfully navigated to the absolute deepest, most specific part of the fortress.
Okay, so we've reached the very center of the facility. Now we really need to talk about how to get out. Let's look at exiting in our exam summary, or what we like to call the escape sequence. Because knowing how to safely back out of this fortress is just as critical for your exam as knowing how to get in.
Getting out of the Cisco IOS is a fast-paced, highly sequential process. You can't just magically teleport from the deepest room back out to the parking lot. You literally have to walk backwards through the security doors you just opened. Step 1, when you're all done configuring that specific glowing green port, you type exit. This steps you back out to the orange blueprint, global configuration mode. Step 2, you're done with the blueprint, so you type exit again. This steps you back down to the blue control room, privileged mode. And Step 3, finally, you type exit one last time. The heavy vault doors slam shut, you're left with a black screen, and you are logged out completely. It is a rapid-fire sequence of typing exit to take safe, deliberate steps backward down the security chain.
Now, this is where it all comes together perfectly. Seriously, if you are preparing for a certification right now, I highly encourage you to pause the explainer and take a screenshot of this table. It's your ultimate cheat sheet. Just look at how logically it flows. Level 1, user exec. Your prompt is router $. To enter the next level, your command is enable. Level 2, privileged exec. Your prompt changes to the router hash. To become the architect, you type configure terminal. Level 3, global config. The prompt expands out to router config hash. To target a specific cable, you type an interface name like interface G0/0. And level 4, interface config. You're at the deepest level, router config if hash. Every single transition key and visual anchor you need to memorize is right here, clearly mapped out. If you can just visualize moving through these rooms, the glass lobby, the blue control room, the orange drafting table, and the green port, you will literally never get lost on the command line again.
Which brings us to our final thought. The source material ends with such a brilliant reminder. Master the command line to master the network. The router isn't just a boring box of wires. It's a fortress just waiting for your instructions. So I'll leave you with this. If mastering the command line means mastering the network, what are you going to build once you finally have the keys to the castle? Keep studying, keep visualizing your network, and we will see you on the next explainer.